The dark side of hero society. What if everything you believed about heroes was a carefully constructed lie? Imagine walking through the gleaming streets of Musutafu, watching citizens cheer as All Might soars overhead, his cape billowing majestically against the azure sky. The cameras flash, the crowds roar, and for a moment, you believe in the fairy tale. Heroes save the day, villains get defeated, and justice always prevails. But what happens when the cameras stop rolling? My Hero Academia presents us with a world that seems perfect on the surface. A society where superpowered individuals dedicate their lives to protecting the innocent. It's inspirational, it's hopeful, and it's exactly what we want to believe about heroism. But Kohei Horikoshi didn't create this universe to tell us a simple story about good versus evil. He created it to expose the rot beneath the shining armor. The first crack in the facade appears in the most unexpected place. Picture this. A young boy named Izuku Midoriya, quirkless and powerless, standing on a rooftop with tears streaming down his face. He's just asked his idol, All Might, if he can become a hero without powers. The symbol of peace, the man who represents everything pure about heroism, looks this broken child in the eyes and crushes his dreams with a single word. No. This isn't just character development. This is the moment the series reveals its true nature. Because in a truly heroic society, wouldn't the greatest hero encourage a powerless child? Wouldn't he see the pure heart behind the impossible dream? But the corruption runs deeper than anyone imagined. The hero ranking system transforms what should be a noble calling into a twisted popularity contest. Heroes compete not for the chance to save lives, but for brand deals, merchandise sales, and public adoration. Endeavor, the number 2 hero, doesn't train to protect people better. He trains to surpass All Might's popularity. His obsession with rankings drives him to abuse his own family, creating a cycle of trauma that spans generations. Think about that for a moment. The system designed to encourage heroism has created an environment where domestic abuse becomes acceptable if it produces a stronger hero. Shoto Todoroki's scarred face isn't just a character design choice, it's a monument to everything wrong with hero society. And then we meet the hero killer, and everything changes forever. Stain enters the story like a bloody prophet, preaching truths that make everyone uncomfortable. He doesn't kill heroes because he's evil. He kills them because they've forgotten what heroism means. His ideology is terrifying, not because it's wrong, but because it's partially right. When Stain spares Deku and Ida while preparing to murder Ingenium, he's not making arbitrary moral judgments. He's exposing the fundamental flaw in a system that has commercialized courage and monetized morality. The heroes he kills aren't protecting people, they're protecting their paychecks. But the most disturbing revelation is yet to come. The Commission, the governing body that oversees all hero activities, operates like a shadow organization that values public perception over actual justice. They cover up scandals, manipulate rankings, and make decisions that prioritize stability over truth. When Lady Nagant reveals the Commission's willingness to assassinate threats to their power structure, we realize that the supposed guardians of justice have become the very corruption they claim to fight. Hawks, one of the most beloved heroes, becomes their willing executioner. The Commission doesn't just fail to stop corruption, they are the corruption, hiding behind badges and public approval while orchestrating violence in the shadows. The students suffer the consequences of adult failures. Class 1A shouldn't be fighting life-or-death battles against organized crime. They're children, thrust into conflicts that seasoned professionals struggle to handle. But the hero society is so fundamentally broken that it requires child soldiers to maintain the illusion of safety. Deku breaks his bones over and over, not because he's brave, but because the adults around him have failed so completely that a middle schooler has become society's last hope. Every time he destroys his body with One for All, he's paying the price for a system that couldn't protect him when he was powerless and can't guide him now that he has strength. The villains aren't born. They're created by hero society itself. Shigaraki Tamura wasn't born evil. He was a 5-year-old boy named Tenko Shimura, whose quirk manifested at the worst possible moment, accidentally killing his family. Instead of receiving help, support, or understanding. He was ignored by every hero who walked past his broken form on the street. All for One didn't corrupt an innocent child. Hero society abandoned that child first, leaving him vulnerable to the first person who showed him kindness. The symbol of evil succeeded where the symbol of peace failed, because he was willing to extend a hand to someone everyone else had written off. And the cycle continues with every new generation. Toga Himiko's transformation quirk made her parents see her as a monster from childhood. Instead of helping her understand and control her abilities, society labeled her as deviant for urges she couldn't control. She became a villain not because she chose evil, but because heroic society offered her no alternative path. Dabi, Toya Todoroki, represents the ultimate failure of the hero system. The son of the number 2 hero, driven to apparent death by his father's obsession with creating the perfect successor. When he returns as a villain, he's not just fighting heroes, he's exposing the hypocrisy of a society that celebrates his father while ignoring his victims. The most horrifying truth emerges in the final act. As society crumbles and vigilante groups emerge, we see what hero society was really built on: the illusion of safety maintained by systematically oppressing anyone who does not fit the narrow definition of acceptable. The moment All Might's power begins to fade, the carefully constructed facade falls apart, revealing a population that never learned to protect themselves because they were told heroes would handle everything. But here's the twist that changes everything we thought we knew. The corruption isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. Hero society was designed to create this cycle of dependence, abuse, and failure because it benefits those in power. The Commission maintains control by keeping both heroes and civilians dependent on their authority. The rankings create artificial scarcity that prevents heroes from working together effectively. The celebrity culture ensures that public image matters more than actual heroism. And the most devastating realization of all? Deku's journey to become the greatest hero isn't just about gaining power. It's about dismantling the very system that defines heroism. He can't save everyone by becoming stronger. He can only save everyone by proving that the society that created All Might, Endeavor, and the Hero Commission was fundamentally wrong about what heroism means. The question isn't whether hero society can be reformed. The question is whether we're ready to admit that sometimes the most heroic thing you can do is tear down the systems that claim to protect us, but actually perpetuate the cycles of abuse, neglect, and corruption that create the problems they pretend to solve. Are you ready to see the darkness behind the light?